Feel the power of Bethune-Cookman women's basketball. The Lady Wildcats, led by head coach Janelle Creighton, are fired up and ready to dominate the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Wildcats quickly in transition. Clark double team under the basket, goes with the spin.
Get ready to feel the excitement. It's time to hit the hardwood for today's game. Buckle up, Wildcat fans. It's about to get crazy. Now it's time to turn it over to the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Torello, on the Cat Eye Radio Network.
It has been 47 days since the veins of Moore Gymnasium thrummed with the energy of a home basketball game. But finally, we are back inside at Coach Cy Court at Richard V. Moore Gymnasium on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University in beautiful downtown Daytona Beach, Florida, for this evening's Southwestern Athletic Conference women's basketball game featuring the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company. Alongside me at the broadcast desk is B-CU student Sabrina Petit-Home. Sabrina, it's so good to be back at Moore Gym.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's such a great way to enter the spring semester, and what better way to do that than a home game?
It's been a while for these Wildcats. They last took the floor against Mercer here at the gym on the 30th of November, 2024, and they're looking to get 2025 started on the right foot. The Wildcats come in 1-2 in the SWAC, losses to Florida A&M and Southern, and a win last time out over Grambling State. The Arkansas Pine Bluff Lions roll in with an 0-3 SWAC record with losses at Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and then a home loss to Prairie View last time out. As we get ready to gear up for today's game, it's time for the Southeast Toyota Dealers keys to the game. Sabrina, what do you got?
2 keys to the game, and the first one goes out to B-CU, and that would be rebounding. B-CU is number 3 in the SWAC for rebounding. So if we can continue to do that and clean up, crash the boards, I think we'll be in a really good spot for that. Those leftover rebounds are the ones that are going to be able to help us in the game. And the second one goes out to Arkansas. We want to be able to make sure that they do not have any unnecessary turnovers. They are averaging about 20 turnovers per game. So if you think about that, those 20 turnovers could be points that they could use to be in the lead. So let's see. This is a battle of, the less of the turnovers.
Those were your keys to the game, presented by your Southeast Toyota Dealers.
At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota, let's go places. Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for $389 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through February 3rd, 2025. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $36.88 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax tag registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Once again, welcome back to Richard V. Moore Gymnasium on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University, getting you set for SWAC women's basketball between the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. Sabrina, you talked in the keys to the game about turnovers. The Wildcats got to watch out for that too. They used to turn the ball over 18 times per game. That's 8th in the SWAC. Yeah. Not a great number. And in 2 of their first 3 conference games, turned the ball over 30-plus times.
Right. So I really do feel like this game is going to be a great matchup, regardless of what their rankings are in the SWAC or how many games they won or lost. I really do think that this game is going to be a great game, especially if they do the things to make sure that they continue to progressively win.
The other thing to note for the Wildcats, they've got one of the best defenses in the SWAC. Tops in field goal percentage against at 38.6. Tops at three-point percentage against at 28.3. And second in points per game against at 65. But they only score 61.9 points per game. Arkansas Pine Bluff, similar numbers. They allow 65.5 points per game, which is 3rd in the SWAC, right behind Bethune-Cookman. But they only score 50 points a game, only better than Mississippi Valley State down at the bottom of the conference. So we should have some low-scoring basketball tonight.
Yep. I also want to see better free throw percentages on both sides of the teams as well, too. Because if you look at B-CU, we're really, really great at drawing those fouls. But once we get at that line, it's like everything goes away. So if we continue to make sure that we're following through with those free throws and making sure that drawing these fouls are not for no reason, these 3-point scores will be able to help us defense.
Bethune-Cookman last in the SWAC in free throw percentage at just over 60% on the year. And you talk about someone who goes to the free throw line a lot. Kayla Clark sitting at 36%. Maya Johnson, 56. Shamari Phillips, 50. These are numbers that are going to have to come up, and in a big way, if the Wildcats want to be successful in the SWAC. Let's take a look at some players to watch, starting with Bethune-Cookman, and you don't have to look farther than Asia Nicholson, the transfer from Alabama A&M, averaging a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds, and leads the SWAC in total rebounding with 156 on the year.
Kayla Clark is to reach her 100 points in a season this game. So that'll be very, very exciting to see that as well. I think we have a couple of other players on our team that's already reached that 100 points in the season as well, too.
Yeah, other players to watch for. Chanel McDonald is available tonight, returning from injury. Not sure how much of a role she will play. And also Kamara Langston, returning from injury on the road weekend. For Arkansas Pine Bluff, you got to look at their top scorer, De'Ara Allen from Compton, California, averaging 13.3 points per game. Their other top scorer is the talented freshman from West Memphis, Arkansas, Janiyah Tucker. She's also scoring the basketball at 13 points per game, but has only played 6 games so far this season, in and out of the lineup with injury. As the lineups are being introduced down on the floor, we continue to talk you through this one as we get set for basketball here on the Cat Eye Network. Thank you for your company on this Thursday evening, the first Thursday women's game of the season and ever in the SWAC, as they've gone away from their Saturday, Monday doubleheader. We were talking before the game, Sabrina, it's so weird to be here for A, only one game, and B, on a Thursday.
So you're telling me I have to leave early? Like, I get to leave early after this? I do have to work in the morning, but it doesn't feel the same.
Wait, don't worry, doubleheader fans. We'll have you covered on Saturday when we got the women's men's doubleheader as well. This is an Arkansas Pine Bluff team that is completely different from a team that went to the SWAC semifinals a year ago. Their coach is gone. Dawn Thornton gone to Alabama A&M. Only 3 players returned from last year. Roberts, Jennings, and Okoye. Those 3 players combined averaged 7 minutes and just 1.7 points per game a season ago. So all new blood for brand new head coach Erica Leak. Talk about the difficulty of basically building a roster from nothing.
We could say the same about the Wildcats as well. Like, even though we do have a good amount of players that did stay with us, we do have some new key players that are here starting with us that are helping us advance where we're at with Coach Creighton.
Wildcats will lean on Asia Nicholson. They'll also lean on a couple of talented freshmen. We got to talk about Janessa Kelly.
Lucky lefty.
Who is one of the top 3-point shooters on this team. 19 threes made this season. The Wildcats have only made 57 on the year. She shoots it at 30%, the freshman out of Pompano Beach. And Jordan Brooks from Atlanta has been tasked to lead the team as their primary point guard. That's big shoes to fill, replacing a player like Chanel Wilson last year, who was a first-team All-SWAC player.
But one thing about Brooks, though, when she gets on that court, you can't even tell that she is a freshman. It's like she's very calm behind that ball. But I'm really excited to see her progression as a freshman, you know, being out there as a starter. It's going to be exciting to see.
The Wildcats' big question is, where is that secondary scoring going to come from? I mean, you've got Kayla White, 9.1 points per game. Damani Dorsey, 7.8 points per game. Behind Nicholson at 11.7. We really haven't seen a secondary scorer rise up to kind of join the ranks of Nicholson so far this season.
Absolutely. We have a lot to prove, and that's what the beginning of the SWAC conference is for.
Wildcats in the white, Lions in the black, and it is the Wildcats that win the tip, and we are underway for the first time this SWAC season at Moore Gymnasium. And you talk about turnovers. Immediately a travel by Jordan Brooks gives the ball to the Lions.
You know, Mike, I think I'm going to go ahead and start keeping tallies of how many turnovers
we've got the live stats pulled up, so we'll be able to see how many turnovers we've got.
Live action, too.
Jayla Pelly controls the ball for the Lions. She'll hand off to Brianne Marshall at the free throw line. And a whistle and a kick ball called against Kayla Clark as she was trying to prevent the pass into the post to Christina Boyd.
I really do hope the Wildcats find their aggressiveness.
Wildcats averaging 10 steals per contest, down from where they were last year, and that's a travel by De'Ara Allen as she was driving to the basket. Jordan got a little bit bailed out there because she had not great defending position. That would have been an easy layup.
Right.
And Allen got all the way to the basket. So a pair of turnovers. The last game we were at together was the FAMU game.
Yes, it was.
Where there were 70 combined turnovers between the two teams. I hope we don't have a performance like that again.
No, not at all. I hope they use their home court advantage as well, too. Use that aggressive.
Driving in, no whistle, and the ball will stay with the Cats off the end line. There's a strong drive by Nicholson to the basket. Lots of contact, but no foul. Jordan Brooks will trigger the inbound. It goes into Clark. She takes a jumper and connects. Rim, glass, and good.
I expect to see a lot of great things. I think she just hit over 100.
That's a Chanel McDonald-esque kind of jump shot from the corner. 2-0 Cats. Look at Jordan Brooks doing a great job boxing out down low. It'll stay with the Lions off a deflection. Senior out of Oakland, California, and there's a steal. Down the other end goes Damani Dorsey, and it's 4-0 Bethune-Cookman.
You have to keep that momentum up. One thing that I did realize their energy.
Round the screen, floater in the lane, no good. Okoye the board, and that, again, we mentioned it, rebounding. Okoye just kind of walked into the paint and grabbed the rebound.
Extremely important that we make sure we clean up what's behind us.
Wildcats looking for some consistency on offense this season. As Kayla Clark drives in, kick out Brooks. Her three! Jordan Brooks knocks down the triple. She's hitting it at 30% on the year, and that's something the Wildcats have not done a lot of. They only make 3.8 threes per game.
Well, just like how we talked about in the pre-games, I think we took a little bit of too much threes last year. We want to go ahead and take advantage of those heights, and you know.
Another ball out of bounds will stay with the Lions. The Wildcats really trying to jump in those passing lanes and force turnovers early. They already got one, the pick off by Dorsey. Her 26th steal of the year, that's a team high.
Absolutely asserting their aggressiveness on the court as well, too.
And that's a Coach Creighton Del Rosario thing. I mean, every team she's coached here has played that defense first, we want to lock you down style.
Well, you know what they say, defense wins ball games. Great defense.
Clark locking down on the defensive side, and she'll grab the rebound after the missed shot by Marshall. Kayla White into the game. We got the two Kaylas playing right now for the maroon and gold. Nicholson at the top of the key. Almost gets the ball stripped, and she does get it stripped by Boyd. Boyd runs the floor. The layup is good.
It's like a back and forth between the two teams. They make a shot, we make a shot. We make a shot, they make a shot.
Not a bad crowd for Thursday.
No, not at all.
Gym.
I'm sure we're going to start feeling the energy and the impulse towards the second quarter.
Nicholson in the short corner underneath Clark. Lets the defender go by and finishes easily off the window.
You know, when you use fundamentals within these plays, you can see the outcome come out positive every time.
Yeah, and the way to beat a zone like that is pass through it, which is exactly what the Wildcats did.
Great on defense.
Wildcats will try and blitz the screen, and it'll be a foul. Push called against Shomari Phillips.
Now, with that foul being called, that was the best defense I've seen with a monster being played so far in the game. I know it's only been a couple minutes being played, but that's what I expect to see throughout the entire game. They need to be on that ball, be in their faces, force those turnovers.
Seems like we've had 50 inbounds plays already for UAPB, and it's only been a couple minutes here in the first quarter. Getting to the short corner and knocking down the jumper is Christina Boyd. She's got 4 of the 6 for UAPB. Boyd, the junior from Memphis, and a transfer from Walters State Community College. A lot of junior college transfers on this Pine Bluff team. As Coach Erica Leak in her first season had to rebuild after the departure of Dawn Thornton. 10 on the shot clock for Clark. White gonna try and create her own shot here with 5. She dances, she's fouled. Great move by Kayla White.
Now this is where we get to see if drawing the fouls, if we can finish them with making that next free throw.
Kayla White has bucked the trend of the rest of the team on free throws this season. She's averaging 80% from the stripe. That's top 5 of the conference.
Wow.
We slow it down for the senior Kayla White out of Cleveland. Her entire collegiate career here at B-CU.
Nice.
That's a rarity in today's day and age with the transfer portal and NIL and all that, to play your entire college career at one institution. And we've seen it with Kayla Clark, and we've seen it with Kayla White here, both for 4 years. And that creates nice consistency for a coach.
It does. They know the players. They know where they need to be improved at.
White sinks them both, and the Wildcats are up 11-6. Now, even though Arkansas Pine Bluff is 0-3 in the conference, as the Wildcats press a little bit. Good press break by the Lions. Open 3 at the top, no contest, it's short, and the rebound comes down to the Wildcats. I'll get back to my point momentarily. As here is Kamara Langston, fresh off the injured list and into the game for the Wildcats. Now back to White.
Nice
Dorsey drives, gets all the way in, just a little short on the layup. She drove that to the side of the lane and not all the way directly to the bucket. Something that the Wildcats do is they will substitute a lot. Nobody gets a lot of minutes on this team. Kicking 3, no good off the heel by De'Ara Allen. She's been kept in check early on in this one. Just about halfway gone by first quarter here. Clark with a nice little swim move, goes all the way in, doesn't get it off the heel. You got to get back on defense because here comes Pine Bluff. Allen all the way, got it to go.
I don't want to be too early, but I really do hope that the Wildcats are not getting as tired, because it kind of seems as Arkansas is able to keep up with them, if not getting past them.
They're turning those turnovers into points, Pine Bluff, and the Wildcats have struggled a little bit on the offensive end. I want to see more drives and trying to get to the line. 6 seconds on the clock. White steps into a pull-up and misses it. Nicholson doesn't get the board, but it comes straight back to Langston.
This is what I mean by being able to clean up after ourselves.
Wildcats offensive rebounding, 14 of those a game. Arkansas Pine Bluff on the offensive glass, also 14 a game. Nice pick and roll down low, but Dorsey does a great job disrupting it and force the ball out of bounds. As we'll have the first media timeout of the contest. Your thoughts on the early action here, Sabrina?
I literally have no critiques. It seems as if each team are being able to keep up with each other. I'm loving the defense that the Wildcats are bringing, but Arkansas also has great defense as well. We need to be able to make sure that they're continuing to do the same defense throughout the entire game, making sure the rebounds are being putting back the rebounds, crashing the boards every time. But for this first quarter, I think it's going pretty well.
Yeah. 8 of the Wildcats' 13 points are in the paint.
Yes.
And this is going to be a game where the painted area on both ends is just going to be really clogged up.
Yeah. It's definitely a battle of the turnovers as well. I think it's already, let me double check to make sure. About 2 turnovers each. It's pretty equal on both sides of the ball right here. We'll see if we can keep it lower and lower the entire game.
And you said pregame you want to see Kayla Clark step up and score a little bit.
Yeah,
She's
definitely.
got 4 already. And I like the diversity for Bethune-Cookman. Already 5 players on the scoreboard.
Wow.
Dorsey's got 2. Brooks has 3 with that triple. Clark has 4. Langston and White also have 2.
They're each getting it in their own ways. And, I think that makes the best of, keeping the teams fresh, replacing team players when they need to be replaced.
But for all the good defense that's being played, you look at the field goal percentages, Wildcats shooting 62%, Lions shooting 50%. So both teams are getting what they want on offense a little bit, but for Pine Bluff, it's come off the steal. As for the Wildcats, it's been more of trying to set up on the offensive end and get a shot.
Right. Finding their aggressiveness as well, too. like you stated earlier.
As we start the second half of quarter number 1, it'll be a baseline in for Pine Bluff. The step back for Ocoee finds Nylon. Pine Bluff has trailed the whole way, but has not gone away, just down by 3. They clear it out for Kayla White to go to work on Empress Roberts. Back to White. Didn't want to take the really long 3.
Look at the defense that Arkansas is bringing. It's
And
like
they
the whole
almost
team
get a
is
steal,
moving,
and they do.
synchronizing.
And they're going to get a run out, too. Nicholson tracks back, but can't stop the finish, and it's a 1-point game. Second steal for the Lions, and it has led to an easy run out. You can tell that Dorsey wanted to take that triple, but it cycles back around to White. Maya Johnson, now Nicholson, all the way in.
And
Hoop in the
let's
hole.
go.
How about Agent 8? Oh, no, it's an offensive foul.
Oh.
My apologies, I should have looked at the ref first, but it's an offensive foul.
I got too excited, Mike.
Yep.
They're pressing over here.
Neither of these teams likes to play against the press. We've seen the Wildcats struggle with it many a time.
It's not being ran correctly.
Yeah, and now they're struggling to implement it, as that's easy for Allen.
Absolutely.
As the Lions take their first lead, 14-13.
Now, one thing about the press that is that we want to run, you have to be able to make sure that they're running it correctly. Now, if we're just letting the ball get through the holes, there's no point of running the press. We need to be able to apply pressure to them.
Nicholson low block, and that's what she does best. Watch the horn set here. That's the call from Pelly up top. They'll look to Ocoee. She fades away. She knocks it down. Ocoee only averaging 2.3 points per game, but she's already got 4 on 2 really nice mid-rangers.
Put it in that work.
Nicholson sets the screen. Flares backed out in the corner. Here's a 3. Rattles out. Maya Johnson is there for the rebound. Her putback is short.
You need to be able to clean up those rebounds. We're falling short and falling behind with them.
And the Wildcats not getting back in transition. It's an easy bucket for Allen. That's the 3rd time the Wildcats have either missed a shot or been turned over, and it's an easy transition bucket for UAPB.
They don't look tired. And that's always a scary sight.
It is the first game of the weekend slate. Floater, no good for the Wildcats, and an offensive foul. It's going to be called on the freshman Maya Johnson. Johnson gives you a different look than Kayla Clark does down low. But Clark will come back in to replace her. And the way that Coach Creighton Del Rosario substitutes, almost like hockey line changes, team in, team out, completely different from what we see on the men's side with Bethune-Cookman, where they will ride their starters the whole way.
To the end.
Largest lead of the game for Pine Bluff at 3, 15-18 plus the ball. Lions still looking for their first conference win of the season and first Division I win of the season. Ocoee, she's got the hot hand right now, but travels with the basketball.
Seems okay, the defense is definitely getting tired on the bottom. Now let's see if we can do the same thing offensive-wise.
Yep. Ocoee and Allen each have 6, but Ocoee is 3 for 3 from the floor early on. Wildcats just one of their last 4 from the floor. UAPB on a 10-2 run over the last 2:53.
Look at that defense.
Swarming to the ball. Clark, one dribble into a jumper. That's not her shot, but the Wildcats will take the offensive rebound. Brooks, corner pocket, kaboom!
A fearless freshman made the 3 again.
How about that to break the scoring streak? On the drive, another travel, this time by Jennings.
Got to be able to watch those foot movements, but that was an amazing 3 from Jordan.
And by my count, that's the 4th travel of the game.
Yes. I think your count is right, Mike.
I'm not sure what's happening here. Why is Pine Bluff? Oh, they're fixing the net. Okay. Whoa, I'm like, why is Pine Bluff getting the ball back?
Nobody's
They just traveled.
Moving.
And now here comes the press from Pine Bluff, as the Wildcats will try to break it. Again, Coach Creighton teams have struggled against the press during her tenure here at Bethune-Cookman. That time they do well.
Know how to break a press. We need to be able to run it.
It'll be Jordan Brooks to run it. Clark
Nice.
down low, and a foul call on a reach. Nice job as we see the return of Chanel McDonald, first time
Definitely
in 8
missed her.
games that we're seeing the 6'2 forward from Lake Wales, Florida, who was so good last year for the Wildcats. Started all 31 games, averaged just under a double-double. Baseline drive, all the way back to Clark. She saves it from being a backcourt violation.
All right, Jordan Brooks has it to reset the whole entire team. The top of the key.
8 to shoot. There's the screen. Brooks goes left. Brooks
Losing
lost the ball.
Dribbling too much. We need to be able to pass.
And now Pine Bluff can hold for the final shot.
Look at that pass.
Nice ball movement. Behind
Hello?
the back goes Pelly, up and under, and blocked. McDonald says, I'll have some of that, and ejects it out of bounds. 7 seconds left in the first quarter, excuse me. A high-scoring first quarter by these two teams' standard. Lots of deflection on the inbounds pass, and Pelly stepped on the baseline.
I hope they have to wipe their hands. It's a little sweaty.
So Wildcats have 5 seconds. Jordan Brooks, I think, has got to run up and take a 3 here.
Yep. Or drive in.
She'll create a shot. The step back. She's fouled
Almost.
at the horn, and she'll go to the line to give the Wildcats the lead at the end of 1. That's a great move.
What a great way to end the first quarter. She has so much confidence behind that ball as a freshman, because personally me, if it was me out there, I'd be so nervous. Starting the game, she's doing a great and amazing job.
And I think we're going to have a review here to see if there was time on the clock when she released the shot. So we've got some time to talk here. As for the first time, let's say hello to our read sheet. Do you love Bethune-Cookman University sports? Of course you do. Then be sure to check out Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs, hosted by voice of the Wildcats, Michael Turillo, and featuring the expertise of sports information directors Bryce Reynoski and Brian Harvey. Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune in to 1380 WELE Daytona Beach every Thursday at 6, the new date for Hail Wildcats Radio, an hour before the women's basketball game. You can catch us talking the preview. The episode is live now on all your social media platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or if you're around, you can tune into 1380 WELE. We did our first show of 2025. Me, Bryce, and Brian had a great time recapping all the basketball, track and field, tennis, lots of Bethune-Cookman sports going on right now as we get into the spring semester. How was your break, Sabrina?
I think it was pretty well. I spent my time just, preparing for this season. I'm really excited to see, since we practically for both women's and men's team, it's a whole new team. So it's fresh, it's scratch, Who knows where we're going to take us, maybe to the SWAC playoffs, I hope. Yeah.
Well, remember, 10 teams on the men's side or the women's side make the SWAC playoffs this season. It's up from 8. So there's a little bit more of a cushion on that lower end. But again, if you're coming into the last couple of games of the season fighting for those last couple of playoff spots, that's not really where you want to be. You want to be locked in halfway through the season, have your wins, and then kind of coast
be comfortable,
be comfortable in the rest of the season. Jordan Brooks makes the first one. Remember, this is right at the end of the first quarter. She created her own shot and got a foul after a Pine Bluff turnover. Misses the second one, 0.8 on the clock. Clark could have put it back up, but she chose to just hold it, and the Wildcats will take a 1-point lead into the first quarter break.
Well, now that you could tell, Mike, it's been a game so far. A great matchup like we discussed earlier in the game. Let's see how we kind of saw a little bit of a decrease within our Wildcats as well when it comes to momentum. I really do feel like we need to find our aggressiveness and learn how to control the ball as soon as we get on offensive wise. Defensive wise, I think we're doing great, you know.
I want to get your thoughts on the press for both teams, because both teams have tried it and it hasn't been that successful.
They're not putting enough pressure on the ball. If both teams are able, the two that needs to be attacking the ball, they need to be in their faces. Now, when you look at the press that they're trying to run, they take a little bit too much steps back. Like, you know, they're giving up enough room for the opponents to pass it and break the press. Now, if we're all up in the ball, I need to be able to be on the sideline and the ball right here. I can't pass nowhere. That's how you break the press. But if you're not in their faces and you're giving them every opportunity to break the press. And we need to see that from both teams. Is the press being ran properly, or else it's just going to be, you know, Pac-Man.
I want to get your opinion on what Bethune-Cookman is doing when they get in their half-court offensive sets, because we saw them take a big lull in the middle of that quarter that saw Pine Bluff come back to take the lead. And I think it's ball movement, right?
Yes, ball movement, and it looks like they got tired a little bit because, to me, the last couple of minutes, Arkansas was outrunning the Wildcats. And we don't want that to be towards the fourth quarter, and we're really, really close, and they get a little bit tired again, and Pine Bluff takes the lead, and, oh, no, we lose the game, you know? That's great on Arkansas's part, but we want to be able, as a team, to make sure that we're fixing the mistakes that we have to ensure that we win the game.
Do you think it's a mentality thing, right? The Wildcats come in, you see, oh, they don't have a D1 win, they're 0-4 in the conference so far, we're just going to roll, and Arkansas Pine Bluff has come in and said, no, we're going to make a game of it here.
I honestly do. It could be a mentality thing, but I think each player that's on the court has the confidence to be able to do that. I honestly purely believe that it's just because it's a new team. We don't know how to play together yet, so we just want to make sure that we're doing a good.
Bryce, our SID, just took a tumble right next to the broadcast table. Second quarter underway. UAPB and Bethune-Cookman. UAPB starts with the ball. That's great defense. Locked down.
All ball. That's what you call an all ball, Mike.
Cariana Woods strips that away. Chanel McDonald.
This is the passes that I'm talking about. Fast-paced passes.
That is her house.
Yes.
She loves that little baseline mid-ranger.
Absolutely.
And in transition, when the defense isn't set, you can get those easy looks.
Absolutely. You don't want to wait too long, though.
From St. Louis controls for UAPB. Down low it goes to Boyd. Boyd bullies her way in and scores. Sometimes good offense just beats good defense.
Yeah, you can't help with that.
Yeah, good job by Boyd to go up and under with that one. Wildcats' lead is just one. McDonald back to Clark.
Nice
She's
fake.
got a fake.
Hello, two fakes.
Dorsey.
Ooh.
Oh, in and out.
We need to rebound. That could have easily been a two-pointer.
Yeah, but Okoye with a good box out. Allen all the way. Got her shot altered by Clark. And now the Wildcats have a chance for a run out with Brooks.
Now, Mike, a trend that I'm seeing is that defensively,
Brooks will slow it down, and then a tie-up is going to go the way of the Wildcats.
Sorry, just to go back to what I was saying. The trend that I have seen before is that defensive-wise, we're really good at rebounding the ball, but offensive-wise, we're missing it. It's like we don't care. But I want to make sure that we're continually doing that on both sides of the ball, because either way, like I said, advancing to the next point.
Clark traveled. Got to put that ball on the ground first. That's the fifth travel of the game.
Let me go ahead and put a tally down, Mike.
We talked about turnovers. A combined 10 turnovers in that first quarter.
Wow.
5 each, and now the 6th one on the Wildcats. Jalea Pelly from St. Louis, Missouri, and the transfer from Indiana State controls out high for the Lions.
Now, this is the synchronized defense I was talking about. It makes me so happy to see that. One person moves, the other moves. It's like they're reading the court at the same time.
Allen, the floater off the glass. Nobody rotated to cut off the drive.
Maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, and you saw McDonald and Clark kind of look at each other, but nobody actually closed it off.
Overthinking gets the best of us.
Pine Bluff back in the lead. just underway here, second quarter. First game at Moore Gymnasium in 2025.
Nice movement of the ball.
Back down low, Asia Nay has it knocked away by Okoye. And Kayla White comes back in.
Asia with only 2 points.
And no rebounds.
No rebounds. Kind of an off game for her, too early to call.
But again, this team goes as she goes, averaging a double-double.
Right.
As Kayla White comes in to replace the freshman Jordan Brooks.
Nice.
Dorsey pulls up and connects from mid-range.
That's also her house.
Oh, yeah. The Wildcats need to get to that spot more.
Yeah, the mid-rangers is a good spot for all of them on the team. Somewhere that they're really comfortable in as well.
Wildcats have struggled defensively in this game. Pine Bluff shooting 61%.
3 open spots. They need to close that gap up on the court, making sure they don't get 3 seconds, but making sure all team players are covered as well. Almost a steal.
Dorsey went for the steal, leaves Pelly wide open, and she drains the 3. That's a risky play from Dorsey trying to get that steal. But that's the way this Wildcats team likes to play.
I really do believe this game is going to be a good game up until the last second.
Down low, Clark. And there's a foul called. She was battling toe-to-toe with Stephanie Okoye, one of 2 Californians on this Pine Bluff team. Okoye from Oakland. Her entire college career at UAPB. This is her 4th season. Averaging under 1 point per game through 62 games played. But has been thrust into a starting role tonight, has been really good. 6 points on 3 of 3 shooting for Okoye. Cats with the ball down 2. Clark in the short corner will hand off to White. White off the screen, back to Clark. She drives baseline and gets hit on the wrist.
Drawing the fouls.
That's going to be on Briantane Marshall.
It's such a pretty name, Briantane.
It rolls off the tongue, too.
Very easily.
Marshall from Louisville, Kentucky. And another Walters State Community College transfer. Before that, played at Arkansas State Mid-South her freshman year. And this is where Kayla Clark has struggled as she misses the first one, shooting 36% from the free throw line. And if I'm a defensive player, right, if you see Clark with the potential for an easy layup, I may just go ahead and foul it.
Yes, because we know that it's not.
Because she's statistically going to get fewer points.
According to her percentage.
Yeah. Wildcats try to play press again. It comes to Allen in the front court. Pally left wide open. She's got another 3.
No, not to leave Pelly open no more. From Indiana State.
A personal 6-0 run by Pelly on 2 threes, and it's a 5-point lead for Pine Bluff, their largest of the night. Wildcats struggling on the offensive side in this quarter.
They need to play their own game.
Clark with a little teardrop. Kayla Clark up to a team-high 6. Wildcats need stops. Pine Bluff shooting 65% from the floor. On this season, their average is 31. They're doubling their average on the season. And they're going to get a reach-in off the ball against Cariana Woods. And again, we see the wholesale changes as 3 players comes in for Bethune-Cookman. And as a player, how does a system like that where just change, nobody gets significant time on the floor, how does that make you feel to play in a system like that?
There's pros and cons to it, honestly. Because low-key, if I was a player, I'd be tired. I'm like, okay, I can get a break. But then I'm losing playing time, you know? So it's a, win-win, win-lose.
All the way through, is that a travel? Yes.
It was, very nice. Keeping our hands up wasn't no problem.
Travel number 6 on the game combined.
Added that to the tally as well.
Jordan Brooks back in, the freshman from Atlanta. The all-time leader in points, assists, and steals at Union Grove High School. Oh, we have a player down for the Wildcats, but she gets right back up.
Jordan Brooks wide open. definitely know she's going to
Interesting,
shoot.
we've seen the 2 point guards, White and Brooks, playing at the same time. Johnson's pass deflected and stolen away.
Another
Looking for the
turnover.
back cut from Kamara Langston.
It's instances like this that I feel like
Wide
Arkansas
open again
is
for 3, no good. Rebound Langston.
outrunning us. Because how are they beating us and we're on offense?
White in transition. Wide open is Brooks from the corner. That's way too strong, but it'll be Wildcat ball off the rebound. It goes off of Pelly's foot, and we've hit the second quarter media timeout. SWAC basketball is here. Don't miss your chance to catch every second of B-CU basketball action at Moore Gymnasium. The Wildcats will host a men's and women's doubleheader this Saturday, January 18th, as they welcome in Mississippi Valley State for a crucial conference matchup. Student admission is always free, and general tickets start at $10. Get your tickets today at bcuathletics.com/tickets. Can't make it to Moore? You can catch it all live with Sabrina and I here on the Cat Eye Network. And introducing Hoops Homecoming. Come reconnect with friends, alums, and all the Wildcat faithful over some B-CU basketball Saturday, February 1st, as the Cats host a doubleheader against Alabama State. Featuring tailgating, vendors, live DJ, food, and more. You don't want to miss this one-of-a-kind event. Get your tickets today. That's bcuathletics.com/tickets. Wildcats in the hole here, down 3. Just in the second quarter alone, they're down 10-6. And 0 for 2 from 3. The 2 3-pointers they hit in the first quarter really carried them in that opening frame.
Definitely. I think this game is really just about fundamental playing. I think either team needs to be able to make those fundamental shots, those particularly easy shots, to make sure they win, because those extra shots, we really don't need them. This game is way too close for us just to be stepping out to making shots that we know that might not fall in, or shots that we don't necessarily usually take.
Yeah, and after a slow first quarter, De'Ara Allen has been unlocked. The UTEP transfer has 8 points. She's only 5 off of her season average, and we're halfway through the second quarter.
Really want to see more of Nicholson as well. Seems like she's having an off game, but hopefully that towards the second half, we'll be able to see her, pick back up to her regular play. 2
points, no boards for Nicholson. Brooks has 7 to lead the Wildcats. Clark has 6.
Okoye has been showing out as well, too, all over the boards.
Wildcats with a baseline in here. Langston, double teamed, lost the ball. Tie-up will go the way of Pine Bluff on the alternating possession. The Wildcats just one of their last 4 from the field.
Ajane back in the game.
You see Erica Leak talking to Okoye there near the bench. Leak in her first season as the head coach for Arkansas Pine Bluff. This is her first collegiate coaching job. She spent the last 8 years as a high school head coach in the state of Arkansas. After a standout collegiate and professional career, attended Louisiana Tech. Allen in the corner, kaboom.
We've really got to stop leaving them open, or at least pressuring them when they get to the three-point line, because they absolutely shown us that they can shoot threes.
Allen's got 11 in the first half, and it's 31-25 Lions.
Look at that pressure. That's what we need to be applying when they get at that three-point line. That top of the key, we need to be on them.
Not a lot of movement here for the Wildcats. White,
nice
bounce pass. Brooks tries to respond. She's short, and the rebound is tapped from Okoye to Allen. I thought Allen was just going to attack in transition. She gets it to Okoye, and she's 4 for 4, Okoye.
That left side of the court must be their lucky spot, because I haven't seen them miss anything yet.
It's all Pine Bluff, an 11-2 run over the last 3 minutes, as they've got a 33-25 lead. White kicks, down low Nicholson. Back out to White, in the corner, 3 on the way, good! Wildcats needed that one from Shomari Phillips.
Starting to feel the energy rise up here in Moore Gymnasium. Really exciting to see all the students come out to support the Wildcats.
Again, Wildcats need stops. Pine Bluff shooting 65% for the
Wide
floor.
open, nobody down there.
But a travel up and down.
Now, if there wasn't a travel, that would have been a scary sight.
Yep. That's the first time we've seen Nadia Bayard, the junior transfer from Appalachian State, in the ball game. And Okoye is replaced by Briantane Marshall on the Pine Bluff side. We spoke about Erica Leak. She was the number 19 overall draft pick in the 2005 WNBA draft by the Mystics out of Louisiana Tech. Getting a chance to coach at the collegiate level here. Kayla White all the way through. Whistle and a foul, so. I think she'll go to the line here, yes. Couldn't tell if that was in the act of shooting or not. White's 2 points are only at the line, her second trip.
Not usual.
And she's only taken one shot, Kayla White. Again, you said not usual for someone who scores 9 points a game.
Yeah.
But White is 4 for 4 from the charity stripe in this first half. And the Wildcats have pulled it back to a 3-point game. Here comes the press again.
Yep. See what I mean? They're beating us down the court.
Pine Bluff gets into their all-point set. Here is Bayard fading away off the window. Everything is going down for the Lions right now.
We need to be able to see that on Wildcats as well.
Wilson skips it across.
Usually those passes won't go for.
Clark just pulls up and misses, and nobody's there for the rebound. Empress Roberts, team leader in steals, controls the ball for Pine Bluff. Her nickname is Pickpocket, but she gets her pocket picked by White.
That was great, Mike. I'm not gonna lie.
Sometimes the universe works out. Triple is no good. Wilson, or sorry, McDonald battling for the rebound, and it's a foul as he reaches in on Marshall. We talked about the rebounds, Sabrina. Wildcats 11 rebounds. Arkansas Pine Bluff also 11 rebounds.
Seems like we lost a lot more than that, though.
Yeah. On the offensive glass, B-CU is ahead 5-2.
Wow.
Again, it doesn't feel like it with the Wildcats down 5 here. Offense is flowing easily for the Lions at the moment as they lead this second quarter 17-11.
There goes that synchronized
Allen with the between the legs dribble. That's a long 2 for Allen, but they can't miss. They're almost up to 70% from the floor.
Just off of this game itself, we need to pressure them a little bit more.
Shocking for a Wildcats team that is second in the SWAC in points against per game and leading the SWAC in field goal percentage against.
That's the aggressiveness I'm looking for, Mike.
Kayla Clark with a little flex as she sprints back down the floor.
Kayla Clark has so much potential, and I just really wish she would just pull it out and use that. Use her body down on the bottom.
Under a minute to go in the first half. Blow by from Pelly. No good. Finally a missed shot.
Another rebound.
And a kick ball called against Pelly as she tried to strip Clark. And we're going to go to the monitors to see whose ball it actually was. 39 seconds to go in the first half. Wildcats down 37-32.
We're still stuck on that last play. Can't get over it.
Well, the referees are confused about whose ball it is. It's Pine Bluff ball. So they're going to get another chance at a possession here.
Wildcats should be setting up for defense right now. More likely to go for a 3.
Now the Wildcats thought they had the ball.
No, not at all.
They'll bring Bayard back in.
For a 3 or a fadeaway at the paint, in the paint.
Watch Okoye matched up with Clark on the far side as well.
Yep.
That ball goes straight off of Byard and out of bounds. Nadia not paying attention, and it gives the ball back to the Wildcats with a chance to close the gap before the break.
They're pressing. Let's see if they can run it correctly, and let's see if we can break it.
Wildcats not great on the press break. Jordan Brooks rips it away.
Nice. That's how you break a press. You have to be fast.
Dorsey will run the offense, hand it back to Brooks. Under 30 to go in the opening half. Jordan Brooks, the freshman. Wilson tries to throw it down to Clark. She makes the catch and then throws the ball away. It comes right back to the Wildcats, though. Langston can't get it.
Fight for that ball.
And it's going to be a tie-up. Wildcats ball off the possession arrow. So the Wildcats have just been gifted opportunities to score here at the end of the half. They got to take it. 10 seconds to go, shot clock off.
Both teams are fighting.
Pull up from mid-range, that is not the shot.
Nope. Is she gonna do it?
And then Pine Bluff has a chance to respond.
Euro.
Pelly blocked by Clark. 1 second to go, half-court heave will not be good. And the Wildcats find themselves down by 5 as we hit the halftime break. Not where we thought we'd be, but I didn't think we'd see a 65% shooting percentage for Arkansas Pine Bluff in the first half.
And I'm thinking that's coming from the threes. It's really
it's
been a
not
matchup.
really. They've got 3 threes, they're 3 of 6. What it's coming from is the mid-range.
Yes, offensively, they're beating us. They look a lot faster than us as well, but I want to be able to see that. I think we have a pretty great matchup. We're just as fast.
The Wildcats, remember, averaging 38.6 field goal percentage against. They're giving up 63 in the first half. Also in that second quarter, Pine Bluff hit 3 threes. There were 3 of 4 in that second quarter, excuse me. And 61% from the floor. The Wildcats dipped to 41% in the second quarter, 5 of 12, just 1 of 5 from 3. And I think mainly where the Wildcats went wrong, I don't want to say bad, but wrong on offense, is that they stopped doing what they did well in the first quarter, which was going to the bigs, trying to get them involved. Now, to Arkansas Pine Bluff's credit, they've been aggressively double-teaming in the post.
Yeah, definitely. I think we need to find our rhythm. We lost our rhythm along the way, and if we can start the second half back with finding our game, working with our pace, you know, especially coming off of defensive-wise, then we will have a chance of winning this game. Did not expect us to see us at the bottom, but, you know, we still have a whole other half left over.
What, if you're Coach Creighton, what are you saying to the team in the locker room right now?
Tighten up the defense. Make sure we are rebounding. Those turnovers need to stop right now, because when we get back in the game, if we continue to do them, and pressure them at the three-point line as well, too. Because if we're not pressuring them, we're just giving them threes, and we obviously see that they can make them. We obviously see that they're falling, but also with unnecessary turnovers, just those things, just to make sure that we're tightening up the things that we already know how to do. Play basketball.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the first half recap and the second half here from Moore Gymnasium. At the break, it's the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff 37, Bethune-Cookman 32. This is Bethune-Cookman women's basketball on the Cat-Eye Network. Welcome back to more Gymnasium here in Daytona Beach on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University. It's the Pine Bluff Golden Lions 37, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 32 as we gear up for the second half of this SWAC contest. The first home game for Bethune-Cookman women's basketball in over a month. November 30th was the last time they were here. And it's not all sunshine and roses, especially defensively. We came into the game, Sabrina, touting the expertise of this defensive unit for B-CU. They're giving up 63% shooting to Pine Bluff right now.
And it's really, really unfortunate to see that, but we still have a half to be able to pick back out. We see that Arkansas was able to find their confidence within playing against us, and we want to be able to make sure the Wildcats are finding their confidence as well. It's still anybody's game. It's still anybody's games, and the main thing that we need to focus on, and I really hope that was being talked about in that, in the locker room, is those rebounds, those turnovers, finishing, unnecessary shots that need to be made, fundamental playing. That's what we need to focus on to win this game. When a game is really close like this, we need to worry about fundamental playing.
Here are your first half totals. First for Arkansas Pine Bluff. They're led by 13 from Allen. She's got her season average just in the first half on 6 of 9 from the floor. She also has 6 assists. Okoye has 8 on 4 of 4 shooting, all of those short corner jumpers.
Yep.
Pelly has 6, Boyd has 6, Jennings has 2, and Byard has 2. For Bethune-Cookman, a wide range of scores for the Wildcats. Clark has 8 on 4 of 7 from the floor, but 0 of 2 from the free throw line and 4 rebounds. Brooks has 7, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc for Jordan Brooks as well. Damani Dorsey has 4, Kayla White has 4, Phillips has 3, Nicholson has just 2, and no rebounds for the double-double queen so far. Langston has 2, and McDonald has 2 in her first game back, returning from injury. Team stats look like this. Both teams have 13 rebounds. B-CU is out-rebounding Pine Bluff 5-2 on the offensive glass, leading to 5-2 in second chance points. But defensively, UAPB leads that edge 11-8. UAPB has 12 assists to Bethune-Cookman's 8 and 10 turnovers to the Wildcats' 9. Remember, both of these teams turn the ball over almost 20 times per game.
Right.
So we're about halfway there, 10 in the first half.
Hopefully, well, I really hope we don't reach that 10 on the other half. They'll see at least a percentage of improvement. But I think right now, the key word or, quote of the day is lock in, especially for the Wildcats. I really want to see Ajane lock in as well. It's not really been her game today, knowing that she's usually the one leading the stats on the team. But even as a team itself, this game is a little bit too close to call. I just want to be able to see the improvements that are being made and that everybody is playing the way that they need to be playing.
Here's a key stat for you. Arkansas Pine Bluff has 10 points on the fast break. The Wildcats only 4, and that comes off of 6 Pine Bluff steals.
Now, remember when I said that I felt like Arkansas was beating us down the court? Because they were just a little bit faster than us, and that's even defensive-wise. When we're on offense and we're on the way halfway down the court, Arkansas is already down there. They're beating us there, which is giving them time to set up, giving us time to read how we're going to be playing the next play and what steals is going to be next. And we need to be able to play that mentally, that same way, if not better.
Last stat for you, points in the paint. Arkansas Pine Bluff 18, Bethune-Cookman 12. The Wildcats ended that second quarter just shooting 1 of their last 5 from the floor. Offensively for the Wildcats, 46.2% from the floor, 37% from 3. Once again, Arkansas Pine Bluff jaw-dropping numbers. 63% from the floor and 50%, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. That's the big number that's going to have to come down if the Wildcats want some agency in this second half.
Absolutely. So what do you think, Mike? What are some things that the Wildcats need to be able, in your opinion, need to do to make sure that we advance to the next level?
I think if you're going to play man, play man. If you're going to play zone, play zone. We've seen the Wildcats kind of go into a little bit of a hybrid in that first half, and it allowed players to get open for those easy looks, especially Okoye and Allen.
Yes, and it's not a bad thing that they're switching off. It's just they're not being able to, reset whenever they do. Some teams are able to switch from man to a zone defense and able to play it correctly, but we're just not at that point where we're able to lock in whenever we do switch.
Arkansas Pine Bluff will start with the ball. They are in the all black. They attack the basket to viewers right. Bethune-Cookman in the all white. Pine Bluff looking for their first D1 win of the season. Their only 2 wins were against Texas A&M Texarkana and Arkansas Baptist. And a good start for the Golden Lions as Christina Boyd gets on the board. She's up to 8 points on the night.
Full house here in Moore Gymnasium. Wasn't even expecting that.
Janessa Kelly. Didn't see much from her in the first half. That pass almost picked off. Dorsey bounces into a mid-ranger and misses it off of the rim.
It's like they give up every single time the ball goes
and then
out court.
Pine Bluff throws it away. So right back to the Wildcats. And you got to take advantage of these, right? Points off turnovers, 11 for Pine Bluff, 10 for B-CU in that first half. Jordan Brooks, the freshman, going to take this one out. And nobody for the Wildcats really establishing themselves on the offensive side. Clark with 8, Brooks with 7, nobody else with more than 4.
Wow.
We talk about the absence of Ajane Nicholson. Nobody with more than 1 foul for the Wildcats. Clark looks for somewhere to go with it. She'll put it on the deck, throw it off the window, get her own miss, double teamed underneath, kick it out, and it goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Cats, deflected by Allen.
Not really liking how this third quarter is going.
I don't hate the idea to just drive from Kayla Clark.
She has the body for it. Definitely the aggressiveness.
But again, Pine Bluff is stacking the paint, 8 to shoot now. Brooks back to Clark. She spins, she throws it up, and it's no good, and the Wildcats cold, but rebounded by Nicholson, her first of the game. Then she dribbles it off her foot. It's loose underneath and taken by the Lions. Wildcats get a second chance opportunity, but can't cash in. No look pass to the corner.
Wildcats need to be able to use that home advantage of, being able that they practice on this court. Use those sweet spots that you use during practice.
Here's Boyd, throws it down low off the pick and roll, batted out of bounds by Damani Dorsey. This game has been very stop-start, too. Not a lot of flow and rhythm to it, and maybe that's because both teams are packing the paint defensively. De'Ara Allen, the top scorer of the game. She's got 13, didn't make it 16 as that 3 is short. Nicholson's got her second rebound of the game.
She's coming.
Brooks calls for that spread play. Janessa Kelly almost lost it. Look how many black jerseys are in the paint. There were 3 on that switch.
You could definitely tell the difference.
Nicholson wide open for 3. She'll dribble into a long 2 and brick it off the iron.
We need to find our rhythm, Mike.
Wildcats scoreless for the first 2:49 of this third quarter and are 0 for 3 from the floor. Thankfully, there's only been 1 bucket for Pine Bluff going back the other way. Here's Boyd. She's got that bucket. She spins and then travels.
We're looking for that shot.
What are we up to? 7 travels combined in the game right now?
I believe so. If we hit 10, that'll be a new record.
Wildcats adrift offensively, 1 of their last 9. Have not been able to solve this Pine Bluff defense. Haven't really gotten good looks either.
Haven't found our rhythm.
Kelly bounces into a 3 and connects. That's a long 2, my apologies.
Lucky lefty. Hopefully she could rub some luck on us.
Kelly's first point of the night. She was 0 for 4 previously. Wildcats have their first point of the second half. But this is the kind of game I thought we'd have from the outset with both teams struggling to score.
Right.
It was not the case for Pine Bluff in the first half. Allen throwing a shoulder into Brooks. Nicholson doesn't get the steal, and then it's an easy bucket for Okoye.
It's like they're throwing it up and it's magically going through the hoop.
Well, the Wildcats are reaching defensively. They feel the need to get steals to turn the ball over, and they're just doing a little bit too much instead of staying in their gaps.
Absolutely. I'm seeing Coach Leak
Ooh,
is
lots of contact. And a foul's going to go against the Lions. It's going to go against Christina Boyd. Foul trouble for Pine Bluff. The only person who has more than one is Brianne Marshall. And nobody has more than one for the Wildcats. Not a lot of fouls called in that first half.
Definitely see Coach Creighton is keeping those legs fresh. Hopefully dispatch players are able to find the rhythm.
Chanel McDonald in. She only played 6 minutes of that first half. Phillips thought about a three. Here's the freshman, the Cassandra Hawthorne all the way in, had her shot blocked by Byard. Pelly in transition, no look pass underneath.
They're beating us down that court again.
Marshall throws it up and in, and you're right. It seems like every shot that the Lions are throwing up is going in. The lead is the largest it's been all night. A 9-point advantage. McDonald all the way in. Oh my goodness, lit on the basket for the Wildcats. Hawthorne can't get it to go. A third opportunity and she's fouled. Cassandra Hawthorne, we thought she was gonna come in and be one of the better players on this team. Had to sit for the first couple months of the season because of transfer issues, but only 10 points for her so far this year. And another one of those that is struggling from the free throw line, 33%.
And what was Kayla Parks?
36. And it's lower now because she missed both of hers in the first half.
Got to be able to fix those. Those are fundamental key things that are be able to help us advance us as a team, not just as a player.
And it gets in your head, though, right?
It does.
If the whole team is struggling, as Hawthorne gets the first one, if the whole team is struggling, you think, oh, man, I got to get this, I got to get this, I got to get this, and it gets into your head.
Definitely is a mentality thing.
Hawthorne misses the second. Wildcats, one of their last 10 from the floor.
Now, Mike, did you see how they were boxing out for the ball to grab the rebound? We don't see much of that on the Wildcats.
And again, they're racing down the floor. Every time the ball changes position to where it's going right or left, Pine Bluff is sprinting in transition.
They're fighting for it. You could tell that they want this win, and they're fighting for it and working for it.
That's a nice box out.
There we go. That's
by
what
McDonald.
we're looking for.
Kayla White on the floor for the first time in this second half. She had 4 first half points, all from the free throw line, only attempted 1 field goal. White around the double screen into the corner. Phillips down low. McDonald all the way through. She's going to travel. Yeah, she got to put that up.
I haven't seen a traveling problem until we played Pine Bluff. It's the most travel I've seen.
As we've reached the media timeout of the third quarter, the Wildcats have only scored 3 points so far this quarter. Pine Bluff only 6, as both teams struggling offensively in this quarter. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest B-CU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest clothing and apparel from BCU. That's bcuathletics.com and click on shop. I want to take you around the SWAC briefly. There are 3 other games going on right now in the Southwestern Athletic Conference women's basketball. It's 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and all Florida A&M over Mississippi Valley State, 81-52. The Wildcats will play Valley here on Saturday. Prairie View A&M is halfway through the third against Alcorn, and Prairie View leads that one 35-29 in the battle of the purple teams. And the shocking result so far, halfway through the third quarter, Texas Southern 48, Jackson State 32. Where did Texas Southern come from? They missed the tournament last year. They were 9th in the SWAC.
And this is Jackson State that was number 1 in the SWAC.
Yeah, well, of course, it's Jackson State that lost their head coach and most of their team. But again, it's Jackson State. You expect them to be near the top of the conference, which they are. This is the 2 teams that are undefeated so far playing each other. But here it's Pine Bluff 30, Pine Bluff 43, B-CU 35. And a chance to extend the lead for the Lions, who are looking for their first Division I win of the year and their first conference win.
All right, now this is the zone that I'm talking about. Everybody is on that ball. That pressure that we were looking for in the first half of the game, I'm starting to see it now. I can see the light, Mike.
Pelly drives, kicks. That's a long 2. That's no good from Bayard. And here come the Wildcats. Kayla White, nice handles as she gets all the way in, floats it up, and an offensive foul is called as Bayard had position underneath. Second offensive foul called against the Cats in the game.
Now, who was that charge called on?
Kayla White.
Kayla White.
And a great move by White to get into that position.
Yep.
But again, another possession for the Wildcats with no passes.
Definitely takes to have the smarts of basketball to be able to do that.
This is a Wildcats team that came into the game second in the SWAC in assists per game at 12.1. Tonight, 9 assists on their 13 baskets, but it doesn't feel like they're doing enough in that regard as they bring the press again.
And breaking the press. They're not adding enough pressure when the ball is first being put out.
Jayla Pelly controls. She's the team leader in assists with 34. All the way in, up and under, foul called as that's going to go on McDonald as diving to the basket was Christina Boyd. Boyd's got 8 points and she's going to go to the line for some more. Boyd from Memphis, Tennessee. Walters State Community College is where she started her, well, it's where she transferred from last year. She started her collegiate career at Chattanooga State, also a junior college. She started at Chattanooga State, then went to Walters State. Walters State went to the regional finals and lost to Chattanooga State. So she lost to her former team.
Circle of life, I guess you could say.
Kayla Clark will come back in for the Wildcats as the Wildcats take 2 bigs out and put 2 bigs in, Clark and Nicholson. We haven't really seen the Wildcats go to a 3-forward lineup tonight, which is what I thought they would do, as the first one is no good from Boyd. Boyd has started all 13 games this season for Pine Bluff, and 68 of their 71 career college games have also been starts.
Nice rebound from Kayla Clark.
She did miss them both that time, did Boyd. So the Wildcats come away scot-free on that one. Just 9 combined points in the quarter as Clark dives in, kicks it out. Phillips off the bounce with a 3-ball. Shomari Phillips knocks it down, her second triple of the night.
Just
kick.
Yep.
Wildcats firmly entrenched in this zone, and forcing a short shot from Allen is White. White ahead with it. All the way in, kicks it back out. Clark fakes the 3, drives on Marshall, and travels with the ball again.
We gotta stop
This
moving
is unbelievable. Is it maybe a refereeing crew that's being a little strict, or has everybody remembered that or forgotten that you can't travel with the ball in the game of basketball?
They're going somewhere. I just don't know where, Mike.
Well, right now, we're still down by 5, 43-38, 3 minutes to go, third quarter.
Still anybody's game.
Both teams have just scored 6 points each in this third. Pine Bluff almost gives it away. Nice catch by Bayard. And back to Pelly. The more gym crowd getting into it here. And a foul going to be called on Clark. She thought she got all ball there. Oh, and she did, but the foul goes against Damani Dorsey, not Clark. So more free throws coming for Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's the one thing the Wildcats did good in that first half. They did not allow Arkansas Pine Bluff to get to the line at all. This is the second trip to the line in as many possessions now for the Lions. On the season, Arkansas Pine Bluff 63.8% from the line. The first one is good there from Pelly. Pelly is a 73% free throw shooter. Really good crowd here on a Thursday night
Really
at Moore
happy.
Gym. I was talking to Bryce, our sports information director, at halftime, and he said he was really happy with the turnout.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can continue this all season long for these Thursday women's games.
I think with the less home games that we do have, we're going to have a better
Nicholson
appearance.
up top, face guarded by Okoye. White pulls up and doesn't get it to go, and Pelly outboxes Nicholson for the rebound. Pelly all the way in, coast to coast, dumps it off.
Beating us down the court.
And Marshall gets the easy bucket. You're right, they're beating us down the court, sprinting in transition. Phillips has the 1-3 in this quarter. Kayla Clark tries a three.
And she drains it, Mike.
Kayla Clark, her first three-pointer of the season.
It's like water.
Not the player you expect to pull from long range.
And that's what makes the three even more sweeter.
Wildcats back down by just 5. All the way through, no good on the layup, and it'll be Pine Bluff ball.
You could really see the Wildcats slowly fighting their way back to the top.
Nicholson arguing with the referee. She thinks it should be Wildcat ball. Pine Bluff will keep it as Coach Erica Leak calls a timeout for UAPB with 1:35 to go in the third. The Wildcats fighting back here. Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU women's basketball, follow at B-CU WBB on X and Instagram. Shout out to Gino, our creative director here at Bethune-Cookman, posting all sorts of great behind-the-scenes footage shots, highlights, all those things. Wildcats down 5 here, as close as they've been for quite a while, as they've hit 2 threes in this third period. 2 of their 3 field goals have been threes in this third period.
It's definitely a test of time, as we have a minute and 30 seconds left until the third quarter is over into that
And if we can narrow this gap to maybe a 1-possession game at the end of the third, you feel like you might have some positive momentum going to the fourth.
Absolutely. I would think that they would find their rhythm back to, be on their way to possibly winning this game. But this last minute will definitely tell us how the fourth quarter is going to go, unless they have a huge turnaround to see where they're going to head off.
Jordan Brooks getting an earful from assistant coach Sherry Tucker as she left the huddle. It'll be Pine Bluff ball, 8 on the shot clock, 1:35 to go third quarter. 46-41 Pine Bluff with the lead. Okoye finds it into Marshall. Marshall, that's a mismatch against Kelly, and she gets the finish. Big mismatch. Marshall 6'2", Kelly 5'9".
Wow.
Brooks dives, steps back, throws it up and in. Jordan Brooks ends up on her backside, but gets the jumper to go to keep the game a 5-point deficit. 1 minute to go third quarter. Wildcats looking for a stop here. Boyd kick out. Corner 3, no good. And the rebound by Clark.
Okay, we can see that they're starting to get a bit faster.
Brooks doesn't want to get her pocket picked. She crosses court to Phillips. Oh, that would have been Phillips's. Yeah, Phillips, that would have been her third 3 of the game. Just missed it long. Wildcats token press. 8-second difference shot clock to game clock here in the third. 26 seconds on the third quarter clock. Here's Pelly.
Still down by 5.
Brooks hits the floor off the crossover. Allen goes all the way in, has her shot altered, and Clark gets another block. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Okoye skips, and it's a
Steal.
shot clock violation.
Wow.
2 blocks on the possession for Kayla Clark. How about that?
Finding it. We're finding it, Mike.
Wildcats have 8 seconds to pull within 1 possession here. Remember, at the end of the first quarter,
And you make smart
Brooks got
plays.
fouled right at the end. Brooks with 4, drives, puts it up, and she got fouled. And a technical foul immediately as Allen came up talking. And the Wildcats are going to get more free throws here at the end of the half.
But this is what you were talking about earlier, Mike. If we continue to drive down that lane and draw those fouls, we will be able to be on a better spot than we are right now.
Listen to the crowd. Alive and well are the More Maniacs down there on that far side.
I like that name, More Maniacs.
I think I called them that last year during some of those insane overtime wins that the men's team had.
Definitely is going to stick with us again for this season.
More magic as well when we have those miracle runs.
Absolutely.
So Jordan Brooks is going to have 3 free throws here, a technical foul, and a shooting foul.
Wow. Just what we needed, though.
So a chance to pull within 2 if Brooks sinks all of these. We get the first one. Jordan Brooks, former player of the year at Union Grove High School, the all-time leader in points, assists, and steals for Union Grove in Atlanta.
I have free throw percentage.
73%.
73%, yeah.
One of the better ones on this team.
Yep. Vanessa Kelly.
Oh, so no, those were the shooting fouls, and now Janessa Kelly has the technical foul.
Yep. Also one of the better ones with a 75%.
And she converts the first one. Oh, no, 4 free throws.
Wow.
My apologies.
Well, we're getting right back to where we need to be.
I thought it was only 1 technical free throw. It is 2. A chance to pull within 1 here.
Now, Mike, what they're going to
And
have
it's
to
good.
What they're going to have to do with this is use this as a chance to come back from a 5-point game to a 1-point game
Now,
to being in the lead.
The Wildcats have the ball. There's 1.2 seconds left. Do you try and get a 3 here?
I would.
Brooks. Oh, it's stolen. Allen, no good. At the end of the clock, wouldn't have counted anyway. But the Wildcats, thanks to some excellent free throw shooting, didn't think I'd be saying that coming into the ball game.
Not at this game.
Have drawn within 1 as we break for the 4th quarter here. It's Pine Bluff 48, Bethune-Cookman 47. Come be a part of B-CU Athletics and support the Cat Eye Network. If you or your business is interested in partnering with us here on the Cat Eye Network, you can reach out to the Wildcats Athletic Communications Department at BCU Sports Info at Cookman.edu. That's BCU Sports Info at Cookman.edu. Well, thanks to those free throws and some good offensive play, the Wildcats end that quarter on a 6-0 run. They win that quarter 15-11, and something that is not a stat, you won't find it in any sheet in the country, momentum. The Wildcats have it going into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they need to be able to keep that. Retaining is also the next keyword, Mike. Retaining that momentum and, being able to do what they just did and keep up with that.
The Wildcats did better defensively in that 3rd quarter. What did you see them work on to try and corral this Pine Bluff offense?
Just oh, I'm so sorry. Messed up our words. But one thing that I did see is that they were able to speak to each other defensive-wise. Call out if they're popping out, be able to covering those empty spots, those holes that would typically be an open spot for the other opponent to drive in and take that shot.
The thing that I noticed is they switched from man to zone.
Absolutely.
And the zone is allowing them to deny some of those Pine Bluff drives into the paint because help defense is easier in a zone.
And I think that was also one of the better things that they did because Arkansas is just a bit too fast for them as well. So them being on man where Arkansas was able to, pick them out and beat them half down the court. Whereas if they were on zone defensively, they were able to watch the entire court.
It'll be Wildcat ball to start the fourth quarter off the alternating possession, so a chance to take the lead here would be their first lead since 7:29 of the second quarter at 23-22.
They need to be able to use that correctly.
Here we go. Janessa Kelly starts the action for the Wildcats, and it comes to Jordan Brooks, 2 freshmen running the point for B-CU. Here's Kelly. Drives in, floats it up, blocked, or at least altered.
These are not passes Arkansas should not be doing.
Yeah, that's a great defensive play by Shomari Phillips.
Absolutely. These are what Wildcats need right now.
Nicholson, open lane, drives in, no good. She crashes to the ground, bewildered that there wasn't a foul call.
Shamari was open at that 3, too.
Now the Wildcats need to play defense. 1-point game, closest it's been in a long time. Marshall posting up.
Nobody at the post.
Great handoff to Pelly. That's the first time Pine Bluff has ran that particular play tonight, and the Wildcats were not ready for it. Back to a 3-point game.
They need to fall back.
Kelly kicks. Phillips surveys.
Watch the cuts.
Clark thought about another 3. Instead, she'll back down Mitchell.
Nice.
Up and under.
That's what I'm looking for, Clark. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Using them fundamentals and that body down in the paint gives her great advantage.
Wildcats need some stops here. Still, Arkansas Pine Bluff shooting 56% for the game. That's a great move by Boyd, but she can't hit. Nicholson the rebound. Wildcats odd man rush. Here they come. Phillips in transition. 3 on the way, way too strong. And then a jump ball will go the way of Arkansas Pine Bluff as Nicholson and Pelly go elbow to elbow on the ground.
One thing I did notice that even though Ajane is not on the board offensively, she is there defensively.
Nicholson tonight up to 5 rebounds, still just 2 points, so it looks like her double-double streak is going to end.
Oh, hopefully it comes back by this Saturday during Mississippi Valley.
At the next media timeout, we'll run you through those SWAC scores again. Texas Southern still leading Jackson State in the fourth quarter. That is a shocking result. Pine Bluff up 1 and with the ball in the hands of Jayla Pelly. That's an offensive foul. First one called on Pine Bluff tonight. Great defensive position by Jayla Kelly to take the charge.
Ajane very excited to get that one.
Oh, correction, there was Nicholson took the charge. And again, that's a stop on defense.
Yeah.
That's as good as a missed shot.
We need to be able to keep that momentum for the next 8 minutes here. 8 minutes and 8 seconds to be more specific.
There are no gimme games in the SWAC.
No, not at all.
Especially in this building. This is as packed as I've seen more gym for a women's game in years.
Long time.
So maybe the women's coaches around the SWAC pushing for this separate schedule is working out.
Very much so.
Imani Dorsey's been quiet recently. So has Nicholson. Clark open for 3.
Nice.
Back to Nicholson, has it stolen. And then Nicholson gets it right back and is stripped by Boyd.
She is not going down with a fight, not with this happening.
I'll tell you something about Ajane Nicholson. She battles for every inch, and even on a night where she is not doing so well offensively, she's still going to give you that energy.
She definitely will find her way.
Wildcats still down 1. That's the 4th foul on Boyd, if we're keeping track. Boyd, one of the top scorers tonight for UAPB. Clark just rises with the jumper, misses, out of bounds, Pine Bluff ball, and the student section livid.
My favorite part of the gym is definitely the student section. That's the heart of the Moore Maniacs here at Moore Gymnasium.
Both teams 1 for 5 from their last 6 from the floor.
Yeah.
And this second half has been a defensive slugfest, whereas the first half, offense was flowing on both sides.
You can see they're back in that zone. Hopefully they don't fall back into man, losing recipes.
Allen pulls up, misses everything.
That energy shift is It's a killer.
And more Jim lets him know that you missed everybody, everything, and everybody. 7.5 left. Neither team has scored in the last 2 minutes. Nicholson drives, lost the ball, but gets a foul called against Allen. The refs bailing out Nicholson a little bit there.
Wow.
As Allen is down on the floor, that's her 3rd foul. I already mentioned Boyd's got 4 for Arkansas Pine Bluff. She's their 2nd leading scorer with 10.
Wow.
Wildcats, nobody in foul trouble. Nobody's got more than 1 for the Wildcats.
And I think everybody's on the board when it comes to points-wise.
Except Maya Johnson.
Yes.
Maya Johnson, who's only played 5 minutes, is the only Wildcat that has not scored. As Allen, after committing that foul against Ajahnay Nicholson, got up a little bit gingerly. This would be huge for Pine Bluff if she can't continue. She's their top scorer. She had 13 tonight, all in the first half, and she has been limited in the second half to nothing offensively.
She's been all over the court.
She's
going to
walk off, walk to the bench. You got to look at team fouls here. No team fouls in the 4th quarter for the Wildcats, 3 for Pine Bluff. So if you're thinking about free throws coming down the end of the game, the Wildcats are in position there.
Need to take advantage. Advantage.
Only 4 points, 2 apiece, scored in this 4th quarter so far at the 7:20 mark. And it looks like they're cleaning some blood off of Kayla Clark's jersey. I wonder if in one of her battles with Brianne Marshall or Jay Lapelli, somebody got cut.
Hope everybody's okay.
Clark okay to continue. 20 on the shot clock for the Cats. Oh, and Damani Dorsey
right behind her.
Didn't look for the ball. She thought the ball was going to go to Clark, and another turnover. Wildcats and Lions have each turned the ball over 16 times in the contest. Wildcats again need a stop down just 1. Empress Roberts, who we haven't seen a ton of tonight, controls. Pelly gets fouled by Clark. Second foul on Clark, and will send Pelly to the line where she is a 73% free throw shooter. Pelly, a decently rated prospect out of St. Louis, actually played her high school basketball in Illinois. Won a state title as a senior in 2023 and was named a 4A All-Star. And in the top 300 prospects in the 2023 recruiting class. Ended up going to Indiana State her freshman year, Pelly. Only scored a total of 15 points and had 13 rebounds in limited action as a Sycamore. Misses the second one, the lead's 2.
Look at that, nice rebound. They rebound when they want to.
And they should want to all the time.
Yes.
Wildcats, the wires get crossed. A lot of that happening offensively recently.
She's adding that pressure that I'm looking for on the Wildcats.
Empress Roberts all up in White's face. Clark with 9. Nicholson, kick out. Phillips for 3. Good!
Lucky number 3!
Correction, that's Janessa Kelly. First lead for the Wildcats since it was 23-22.
Yep. Now they fell back into that zone that we've been looking for this entire time.
Marshall takes a 3, misses, long rebound, comes to the Pine Bluff Lions as Uriah Jennings grabs the board. Timeout, Erica Leak and UAPB. Those are the kind of boards you need to get as the Wildcats are on a 5-run run over the last 2.5 minutes to take the lead.
Now remember, Mike, what we said earlier, that this game is going to be a great game of a matchup of playing back and forth to the end of the second. And here we are in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left, 52-51, and it's been a great game so far.
And I think these two teams are very similar stylistically, and that's what's made for this great matchup.
Right.
Let's take you around the SWAC. We got a final in Tallahassee, Florida A&M 88, Mississippi Valley 60. Halfway through the fourth in Prairie View, Texas, the Prairie View A&M Panthers have a 53-45 lead against Alcorn State. That game's still in the balance. And then Texas Southern, with half the fourth quarter gone, leads 63-45 over Jackson State.
Wow. Mississippi Valley and FAMU really, I was kind of surprised about that game.
Yeah. Well, Pine Bluff goes to FAM on Saturday.
Okay.
Valley comes here.
Right.
So
tour of Florida.
that's how the schedule works.
Yeah.
You travel in pairs. And you travel to two close geographical teams every weekend.
Works out.
Not that Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M are that close, but they're as close as you get in this conference that stretches from here at Daytona Beach all the way to East Texas.
Close enough.
Some confusion as we try to get this game back going. The assistant coaches for Arkansas Pine Bluff, that's Freddie Murray there talking to the referee. 6:07 left. It feels like so many games do, Sabrina.
Yeah.
It's just going to come down to maybe who has the ball last and who wants it more at the end.
Definitely who wants it more, and those turnovers are definitely going to be key, because at this moment, any turnover is a +1 for the other team.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that they're not going to let this one go out, slip out their hands.
Yeah. Quick look at the rebounding numbers. Bethune-Cookman 28 boards, UAPB 26. Wildcats with a 10-6 advantage on the offensive glass, leading to a 6-4 advantage in second chance points. It'll be Pine Bluff ball, 18 on the shot clock, 6:07 to go in the game. The Wildcats have their first lead at 52-51 since it was 23-22 early in the second quarter.
That pressure we're looking for, the Wildcats are finding it.
Pelly fouled. And I don't think it's going to go on Clark. You're right. I'm right. It's going to go on Kelly for reaching in. And if Kelly doesn't do that, that's another block for Kayla Clark, who's already got 2 tonight.
We got to be careful. We've been doing so well with not being able to foul. We cannot do this at the last minute.
Second trip to the free throw line for Arkansas Pine Bluff in this fourth quarter. Pelly misses the first one.
Mike, you think this is going to go into overtime?
We don't say the O word here.
Let me knock on wood.
1 of 2 again for Pine Bluff. They've averaged going 1 of 2 every trip to the line.
Going into a press, let's hope we can break it, because it doesn't seem like it's that they're letting up right now.
It's going to be Kayla White all by her
Nice.
lonesome. Oh, Kelly lost it.
That's a
Nicholson
foul.
has it. Okoye bowls her over. Heads up play by Nicholson to grab that loose ball.
Almost a great play.
Oh, look at that. Kayla Clark with the hops to fix the net. Wildcats on the baseline. Kayla White has had an off night, just 4 points, 0 of 2 from the floor. Asian A. Nicholson also an off night for her, just 2 points, 6 boards. But the Wildcats still in it. Tie game with 5:48 to go in the game. White, Dorsey open for 3. No good off the heel. And another rebound for Pine Bluff. They'll try and tie it up, and the Wildcats do. The possession arrow favors the maroon and gold. They'll get a second opportunity at it.
We need to lock in. Got to lock in.
Nice heads-up play again by Nicholson to know we got the possession arrow and tie it up.
Let's talk about how Empress has been keeping up with Kayla White this entire night. I think that's been a pretty great matchup.
Her nickname is Pickpocket.
Pickpocket.
Coach Thornton, who recruited her to Pine Bluff, called her, quote, the best on-ball defender I've ever seen. Janessa Kelly, no good off the heel.
Need to get those rebounds, because that putback would have got us up by 2.
Wildcats back into that zone here. Pelly They'll go short to Marshall. And back to Pelly. Marshall sets the screen. Pelly left, drive to the free throw line. Nice defense by Nicholson. The rebound to Clark.
Down.
And then Clark all the way down the floor. White steps up into a three. No good. And a foul against Pine Bluff underneath. Marshall knocked over Clark.
Whew.
That is some big bodies going at it underneath. Clark 6'3", Marshall 6'2".
That's we got to be careful. Those unnecessary threes.
And now it's free throws because the Wildcats are in the bonus. 5th foul on Pine Bluff. And that sends Kayla Clark to the line.
Yeah.
0 for 2, her only other trip to the line tonight.
30%, 36% at the line. We're hoping that, you know, the better half of that 36 is with us.
First one, no good. It's frustrating watching this team shoot free throws, especially the bigs.
Yes. And this is something that we should be really good at.
Good on the second. And the lead back to the Wildcats at 53-52. Still 5 minutes left.
Anything can
But
happen.
crucially, Christina Boyd just checked in for UAPB. She's in the middle of the court right now wearing number 12. She's got 4 fouls.
Oh, they're looking to foul then.
If I'm Bethune-Cookman, I go right at her
Yes.
when they get the ball back.
Exactly.
But
Foul her out.
right now it's Pine Bluff ball. Marshall open underneath off the pick and roll.
Now the thing about this 2-3 zone, we need to be able to watch that baseline. If we do not watch that baseline, they literally will pickpocket us behind every time.
Let's see if they go at number 12. White kicks, Clark.
Drive.
Baseline drive. She pulls up. No, way too strong on the baseline jumper. And that was a perfect example of how a good baseline defense is.
Watching the back as we're watching the front. Let's see if we can learn from our mistakes. We still have 4 minutes left in the game.
Allen back in as well.
Good ball movement.
Yeah, by Pine Bluff. Driving and finishing is Boyd.
It looks like they let them though. That was a wide open.
Quick 4-0 run for the Pine Bluff Lions. Wildcats cold offensively, 1 for their last 7 after they were on a bit of a run to take the lead. Down low, Nicholson steps through and scores.
There we go.
Back to a 1-point game.
Battle of the seconds.
Pelly really slowing this down.
Playing at their pace, which is something that the Wildcats should be taking from to play at their pace so they can make calculated shots, not wild ones.
Okoye tries a 3, no good. Dorsey there for the board. Dorsey pushes it ahead. Nicholson short corner against Okoye. Nicholson puts her in a locker and then gets fouled.
Still draws the foul though. Still draws the foul.
What a move by Ajane Nicholson.
A Larry Bird move. That's a
I
Larry
like that.
Bird.
A Larry Bird move.
That's the type of player she reminds me of. Larry Bird was all over that court.
And Nicholson will go to the line. Remember, B-CU in the bonus. And only 2 fouls committed by the Wildcats in this quarter, so they're still 3 away from giving Pine Bluff the bonus. So if we get to a foul situation late in the game, the Wildcats have fouls to give.
Absolutely. She's locking in, though. You could just tell by her demeanor coming up to that stripe.
Nicholson just better than 50% from the stripe, 52.2. And here's the 2-shot penalty. But if the Wildcats keep driving, keep getting to the line, that's a recipe to win this game.
Yep. But he got to follow the right persons. There we go.
Nicholson ties it up at 56. The former Alabama A&M player, 2 seasons there, but she has more points and rebounds in half of this season than in both of those 2 seasons combined for the Bulldogs.
She's
And
on her way.
she misses the second one. I thought she had it, and then Clark taps it out of bounds, so it's a tie game at 56.
She definitely is on her way to 200 points, though.
3:13 to go. Again, Pine Bluff taking all the wind out of this ball. Just walking it up the court. High
Fighting
corner,
for it.
here's Bayard. Driving and floating, no good. Wildcat ball out of bounds, last touched by De'Ara Allen. She is still scoreless in the second half, Allen, and she's still their leading scorer.
Yep.
But the diversity for Pine Bluff, they've got 4 double-digit scorers in the game. Allen with 13, Boyd with 12, Pelly with 11, and Okoye with 10. Here's Janessa Kelly. With 15 to shoot. Oh, she threw it away! Down the floor, Okoye. Against Kelly, that's easy money.
2 minutes left, Mike. We gotta learn from our mistakes.
Too many turnovers for the Wildcats.
Too many.
Timeout, BCU.
Perfect time to call a timeout with 2 minutes left. I really hope both teams starts to regroup to see what they need to do to solidify the game. Like I said before, it's still anybody's game with down by 2, up by 2.
There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at bcu.scalefunder.com. That's bcu.scalefunder.com. And support the Wildcats like never before. Bethune-Cookman Athletics has partnered with Influxer to bring you officially licensed, co-branded NIL merchandise featuring your favorite players' names and numbers. Proceeds from each purchase directly support Wildcat student athletes. Show your support for your favorite Wildcats today at bcuathletics.com/NIL merch. It's 58-56, Pine Bluff over Bethune-Cookman. Here in the fourth quarter. Coming down to the end of it. I think I said it earlier in the game, Sabrina, there are no easy games in this conference. It doesn't matter what the records are.
If they want it, they're going to take it. It just seems like today, which team is going to take it?
Wildcats have started 1-2 in conference play. And we talked on the Hail Wildcats radio podcast this week that this week they really need to take 2 of 2 because there's a lot of tough games coming up. They go to Alcorn and Jackson next weekend, and then the Alabama schools come in here after that.
Not letting them rest.
Cats down by 2 with 2:20 to go. Kayla White off the screen. Okoye all up in White's face. White takes a 3. No good. And the Wildcats crash into each other, and it's Pine Bluff ball. I think if Clark or Asian go for that one alone, they get it. But they run into each other. Another chance for Pine Bluff to push the lead at 2 possessions. Wildcats just shooting 37% on the game, 25 in the fourth quarter. But they've still got a shot down 2. But they need stops. I can't tell you how many times I've said that today.
Nice steal.
And they get one. Dorsey a steal. White up the floor. She's denied by Pelly. She tries again. She dumps it off to Nicholson, who's blocked. Clark has it now.
3 seconds.
Skips it to White. Her three-pointer, no good. The Wildcats have gone ice cold from beyond the arc. Timeout, Pine Bluff.
We need to warm up again.
They're just 1 of 5 from three-point land in the fourth quarter.
I'm on the edge of my seat. This game is real. And I was just saying it to say, for the momentum, but this is really a game down to the seconds. And it's so nerve-wracking to see both teams of such a caliber with basically equaling each other, going toe-to-toe like this. Who wants it more than the other?
Wildcats down by 2, 1:33 to go in the game. Thank you for sticking with us here on the Cat Eye Network. Our first home broadcast of 2025.
Stuck in the past?
A little bit stuck in the past. The Wildcats want to go back to the past, to this time last year, when they were ruling the world, it felt like. But right now, fighting for their lives in this one, down by 2, 1:33 to go. They need another stop. Both teams have turned the ball over 17 times.
Equally?
Yep.
Wow. If I double that.
Points off turnovers in favor of the Wildcats, 16-15, but still trail by 2 because their shooting from the floor has not been great, just 35.8%. Meanwhile, Pine Bluff has shot 52% from the floor in this contest. 1:20 left. Okoye, who's been excellent, spins and misses, and Nicholson rises for the board. Wildcats into the front court, timeout, Bethune-Cookman.
Using those timeouts wisely. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Break for
Wildcats, I believe the Wildcats have 2 timeouts left after this one. Arkansas Pine Bluff has 1. This would be a big win for UAPB if they can hang on. It would be their first D1 win of the year. Their 2 wins coming against Texas A&M, Texarkana, and Arkansas Baptist, 2 non-D1 contests. Other than that, they're 2-11. And they've had a tough schedule. Oklahoma State, Tulsa, Ole Miss, Sam Houston, SMU, all on the road. North Alabama at home. Then at Hawaii, the final score of that game, I had to double check because it was 56-15. Pine Bluff only scored 15 points at Hawaii.
I want to know what type of defense they're running in Hawaii.
Then they went at UTEP and then started SWAC play at Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and then home against Prairie View, and now here. They'll pick up their first win. One minute to go, 60 ticks of the clock.
You can just get a 3 or a 2.
Damani Dorsey looking for anything. Kayla White with 10 on the shot clock. She shovels it to Nicholson. Floater good! Tie game!
I said the O word, Mike, and I'm honestly scared right now on the edge of my seat.
Under a minute to go.
The momentum in the gymnasium has me so nervous.
Wildcats would love a stop here.
You see they went back into a man. We need to make sure that they are not being lost off their feet. Watch
Allen
those baselines.
gets to her short corner, misses, and the rebound comes to the Wildcats. Timeout, Bethune-Cookman.
I think they found their rhythm back, Mike. I really think they did. These last 28 seconds is crucial.
All right, go into the huddle, Coach Sabrina. You're Coach Creighton Del Rosario. What are you drawing up for the final possession of this game?
Drive, 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 drive. Either draw the foul or drive to make that layup. Either way, drive. That would be the only thing, if it was me being the coach at this time, that I would do. Because Arkansas is going to be on us. It is a tie game. 28 seconds left in the game. They're going to be on us regardless. So we need to be able to draw the foul.
Yeah.
And if anything, it needs to be the top scorers in free throws. That needs to be the one to draw the foul.
You want to see White drive?
Yes.
You want to see Brooks drive?
Yes.
Janessa Kelly also. But I wouldn't put it past giving the ball to Asian A. Nicholson.
Either that, either.
She's been their best performer on the season, averaging a double-double. Nowhere near that tonight.
And rebounding. We need to clean up out of ourselves. We have to rebound.
Clark has it. Back to White. Shot clock off, 25 seconds left. They will hold for the final shot. Is there more magic in this venue?
Not the best thing to do with such a matchup like this. We need as much time as we can. If we're going to take it to overtime, that's probably best. But
Wildcats
to shoot
Wildcats still have one timeout. Decide not to use it. Kelly no good. Clark, rebound Nicholson. Putting it up is Kelly. Good! Good! With 4 seconds left. Here comes Kelly. Off the floor. Kelly! Timeout called by Pine Bluff. No, timeout. Timeout. Timeout, Pine Bluff. 2 seconds left. Janessa Kelly is set to be the hero.
Exactly what we were talking about. Exactly what we were talking about of them driving. She took that shot, she cleaned up her mess, and she went up for that too. And now it's 60 to 58 with 2 seconds left in the game.
And now the pressure for the first time all night is on Pine Bluff.
Guys, and hear the crowd, Mike. The momentum of the crowd is honestly fueling our Wildcats to make sure they solidify this win at the end of this game.
You don't need to know, or you don't need to be in the huddle to know what Coach Creighton is talking about right now.
Not at all.
Hands up, stay in your gaps, don't foul.
Just lock in. That's really the only answer to this all, Mike. Just
now,
lock in.
If you're Pine Bluff here, I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you drop a 3 for the win, or do you drive and try and get to the free throw line or try and go to overtime?
That three-pointer is what they're going to need if they want to win,
well,
especially with 2 seconds.
They haven't been great. 3 of 11 tonight. 2 of the 3 hit by Pelly, 1 by Allen. So those are the 2 that I think are going to get the ball.
If they do get that ball, she needs to be able to shoot it. She needs to be able to shoot it, especially on that 3, because the 3 will be safe. Unless I don't even want to say it, Mike.
We haven't seen a lot of high ball screen action from Pine Bluff as their primary action.
Yeah.
But that's where I'd go, right? Have the center or the 4 set a high ball screen for a pick and pop.
But that's if they can set the scene correctly. If they can't set the scene, they're just drawing another foul for the opponent.
Thank you for joining us for another thriller in Daytona Beach.
Everybody up on their seats. I'm out of my seat, Mike. I'm out of my seat.
I am too.
I'm very excited to see what this is.
So many times in this gym, I have been up out of my seat
on the
at the end of the game.
Literally.
Yeah. But there is hardly a butt in a chair right now at Moore Gym. They are getting ready to explode if the Wildcats can close this one out.
This is super exciting for both teams.
Oh, so apologies for the camera mishap there a little bit. They are reviewing to see how much time to put back on the clock.
Ooh.
Currently it is 2.2 seconds. I think they may add a couple seconds because of how quickly Coach took that time out.
If they put 6 seconds on that clock, we might have her. It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
If they put at least 6 seconds on that clock, it's going to be a tough game. Because they might have either a 3-point shooter or they're going to probably drive and call that foul.
But with 2.2, all you can really do is catch and shoot.
Exactly. But with 6, it gives you enough time, just enough time to catch, pass, and then shoot, or catch and then drive. Very exciting to see this game here. Both teams are locked in.
As the review is still going on to see how much time to put back on the clock. Currently it's 2.2 seconds. Janessa Kelly with the putback. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this possession that just happened for the Wildcats to go ahead, right? It was a messy, messy possession.
It could have went the complete opposite way if Janessa Kelly didn't use her basketball smarts to fix everything.
But what have you been harping on all game? Rebounds, putback, second chance points. What happened? A second chance opportunity, and the Wildcats cashed in.
And I'm so glad she did that at the last second. It would have been nice to see it throughout the entire game from different players as well, because we probably wouldn't have been in this predicament that we're in right now. But all is well. They still did it. We're still in the lead. Who knows how much seconds are being put back? We just got to see where everything is going out right now.
We talk about Ajahnay Nicholson being the double-double machine. An off night for her, 7 points, 8 boards, but Kayla Clark has stepped up.
Yes.
She's got a dub-dub, 14 points, 10 rebounds for Clark. In a game where we were coming in talking about her underperforming, she has shown up tonight.
But that's the thing about basketball. You can't win basketball games by yourself. That's what you rely your teams on, you know, where one person falls upon, the other person picks back up and continues to move out of that way. You know, so we expect that. If it's not, you know, me, who?
We'll be back on Saturday for a doubleheader. Mississippi Valley State brings the Delta Devils and Devilettes into Moore Gym. The women start at 3 p.m., the men to follow at 5:30.
That's going to be a game.
Get yourself down to Moore Gym. Be here early for the women's game. Be loud. Or if you're further afield, you can always catch Sabrina and I here on the Cat Eye Network.
Oh, look how they're running back on the court. I think the Cats are literally locked in.
2.2. They didn't put any time back. 2 seconds. Wildcats by 2. Looking for another Moore miracle. Okoye the trigger. She can't get it in. It's a 5-second violation. No timeouts left for Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Mike, it needs to be no turnovers. Just another timeout.
Timeout Wildcats. Wow. We have been questioning this B-CU defense all night, and when it matters most, they come up with the stop.
But it cannot always be like this with different games that are coming up, Mike. You know, we might not ever have this chance again. We need to see the same defense that they had at the end of the game, in the beginning of the game, throughout the entire game, at the end of the game.
I mean, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot about this in post-game about, oh, what went wrong, what went right.
Absolutely.
Right now, there's 2 seconds left. Make a play to win the game. And the Wildcats have made back-to-back plays.
Yes.
Kelly on the offensive side and everybody on the defensive side, and they're set up to win the game.
But what did we say again, Mike? Fundamentals. Fundamentals. That's what wins the games. If it's a close game like this, I'm going to always call out fundamental plays, easy plays. Plays that are going to be able to get us those points.
And you don't even have to get it across half court.
Not at all.
Because there's less than 10 seconds on the clock. So just get the ball in and run away.
Literally.
Here we go. The only thing the Wildcats can't do is turn the ball over off the inbound.
I'm kind of scared because they've been, you know, doing steals. Oh, well, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves.
Dorsey is the trigger. White sprints for the ball. She's running, and she's fouled. The whistle sounds. There's going to be time on the clock. Kayla White's going to go to the free throw line.
Now,
she was chased after by Allen, excuse me.
Maybe I'm not looking at this correctly. Did she run the wrong way?
Well, again, you didn't have to cross half court.
That's true.
Because there's less than 10 seconds left. You weren't going to get a violation. She was just trying to not get fouled and let the clock run out.
Understood.
Yeah, I mean, if she went and laid it up in the wrong basket, I mean, then that's a different conversation.
Right.
Running away at that point is the correct decision.
Absolutely.
And now Kayla White can ice it from the free throw line, where she is 4 of 4 tonight. Those are her only 4 points. Good on the first 3-point game.
That's how you solidify a game, Mike. That's how you solidify a game. Like I said, draw those fouls.
Will she go perfect from the line tonight and ice this one for the Wildcats?
Yeah.
Can you say more magic? It's over. This one belongs to the maroon and gold. A wild win to cap off night 1 at Moore Gym. We will hear from head coach Janelle Creighton-Del Rosario shortly. Sabrina is racing to the floor to get that interview. So while she does that, we will go through your scoring totals. The Wildcats end the game on a 6-0 run, covering the last 2 minutes and 31 seconds, and a 9-2 run covering the last 4 minutes and 5 seconds. And they held UAPB scoreless the last 2:31, doing it with defense. Here are your scoring totals for this evening's contest. First for Arkansas Pine Bluff, Tiara Allen averaged her season high of 13, but it was all in the first half. She did not score a point in the second half of basketball. The Wildcats locked her down. Christina Boyd had a good night, 12 points, 6 of 11 shooting. 0 for 2 from the free throw line, though, and her 4 fouls kept her out for the majority of the second half. Okoye was great, Stephanie Okoye. 12 points on 6 of 10 shooting and a team-high 9 rebounds. Jayla Pelly had 11 points, 3 of 8 shooting, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc, and 3 of 6 from the free throw line. She also had 7 rebounds. Briantane Marshall had 6 points. Uriah Jennings had 2, and Bayard also had 2. And for Bethune-Cookman, Kayla Clark led the way. 14 points, 10 boards for a double-double for the senior from Miami. Jordan Brooks, the freshman, showed out, 11 points, on 3 of 4 shooting and 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. She was also 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. Janessa Kelly had the game-winning basket with less than 2 seconds left. She also had 9 points, 3 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line. Aisha Nicholson, not her best night, but still, 7 points, 8 boards, 3 assists. Kayla White had 6 points. She was 0 for 5 from the floor. Correction, she had 6. 0 for 5 from the floor, 0 for 3 from 3, but 6 for 6 from the free throw line with 1 rebound and 3 assists. Shamari Phillips, 6 points, 2 of 4 from deep. That was all her contribution offensively. Tamani Dorsey had 4 points and 6 boards. Kamara Langston had 2. Chanel McDonald had 2 in her return from injury. And Hawthorne off the bench, only 2 minutes, she had 1 point. The only Wildcat that got in the game and did not score was Maya Johnson, the freshman. So to recap, an excellent win here at Moore Gymnasium. We now send it down to the floor where Sabrina is standing by with head coach Janelle Creighton.
I'm just asking like 3 questions. They're not extra. Okay. Just basically how you feel. Hey, Coach Creighton, what an amazing way to start the spring semester here at Moore Gymnasium. How do you feel?
I feel great. I was really pleased with the turnout today. You know, we've changed our schedule, so we don't have all double headers. So the fact that the student body and everybody came out to support was great, and the team put on a show, so hopefully people come on back.
Absolutely. With a huge comeback in the third quarter with a minute left, what went through your mind at that time?
You know, we just try and stay composed. We know it all starts on our defense, so we really just talked about getting stops, right? Getting stops and stringing that together with some points and executing.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we have one more game this weekend. How do you feel? What's going through your mind? What are you expecting?
I'm expecting a team that's going to come in and they shoot the ball pretty well. A team that's really scrappy, right? And so we got to come out similarly to this game, right? Every team in the SWAC plays very hard, so we have to play hard. But we really got to stick to our guns. We got to play defense. We got to rebound, and we got to execute offensively.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach Creighton. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Sabrina, and we'll get her back in the booth momentarily. We may also be hearing from Kayla Clark. We will not. Sabrina's coming back to close out this game, but the Wildcats win 62-58. They didn't lead for long in this game. They only led for 25% of the game. 64% lead for Arkansas Pine Bluff as the Wildcats once again run out 62-58 winners. Sabrina joins me back at the desk after that interview. Sabrina, I need your thoughts on a wild one at Moore to start the spring semester.
Well, the game went exactly how I thought it was going to go. It came down to the last second where it was just a battle of who wanted more, who had the less turnovers, and what were they going to do to make sure they completed that and finished the game.
I want to draw a parallel to a game that we were at a couple of weeks ago, the Florida A&M men's game,
yes,
where the Wildcats, it was a close game down the stretch, and they closed it out on a big run with defense. Same thing tonight. The Wildcats end the game on a 6-0 run, 9-2 overall over the last 4 minutes, and do not allow a Pine Bluff point for the last 2 minutes and 31 seconds.
While this has worked before in our favor, we can't always rely to the last-minute things like these, the last-minute shots, to be able to take us into the next game. We want to be able to use those last-minute games, those last-minute defensive that we want to make sure we are winning into the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. We want to use those throughout the entire game, not just whenever it's down to the wire.
And what do you want to see the Wildcats do differently against Mississippi Valley on Saturday? Because we thought coming in, these two teams were pretty stylistically matched up evenly tonight, but with the pedigree and the record of the Wildcats and the players that they're bringing back this season, we thought the Wildcats would have an easier time tonight. It didn't end up happening.
I don't want them to underestimate Mississippi Valley because of their record. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that they're coming in with the same drive of wanting to win, regardless of who team or what team that they're playing. You know, because anybody can win. Anything could happen at any point. So we want to make sure that everything that we're learning, we're using that to the fullest to making sure that we're executing what the Wildcats need to do. Focus about what they need to do. Focus on the plays that they have to run. Focus on those turnovers and make sure that they have less turnovers than they needed.
That'll do it for us here at Moore Gymnasium. Broadcast 1 of 2025 is done here on the Cat Eye Network. The Wildcats win it 62-58 over Arkansas Pine Bluff. The Wildcats go to 5-11 on the year and 2-2 in conference play. They even up their record. Arkansas Pine Bluff falls to 2-12 and 0-4 in the Southwestern Athletic Conference with a final score of 62-58. Thank you all for tuning in on the Cat Eye Network on YouTube. Once again, doubleheader Saturday, 3 o'clock and 5:30, women men against Mississippi Valley State. Be here or be somewhere and watch us on the Cat Eye Network. For Sabrina Petit-Home at the desk, our producer Lee, and our entire student broadcast crew here on the Cat Eye Network, my name is Michael Torillo. Thank you so much for watching tonight, and we'll see you on Saturday. Hail Wildcats!